This picture, I believe, symbolizes or portrays the three wise men making offerings to Jesus. Perhaps that's God or Joseph in the background, I don't know. But actually from a distance, the Jesus reminds me of E.T. But as we get closer and see both Jesus and Mary, what a brilliant little bit of photograph of art. Notice how the artist in that massive darkness has slightly offset the brilliance behind Jesus with some emerging light, perhaps suggesting that the emergence of Christianity represents an emergence of light, of spirit in all of mankind. Artistically also, it offsets the dark a bit without letting you leave the brilliance of Jesus. It's interesting, it's underneath an organ balcony, but the face is almost a modern-day woman. This intricate wall relief work is carried on into this side chapel. I want to look at that altar, though. It really is a rare opportunity to invade the precincts of an altar. I've never been able to do this, except in defunct churches. Here it's covered with glass to protect what must be original work. But look at that, particularly if it's all inlaid. Remarkable. Now this seems to be God in all of his powerful fury. Like, listen up, sinners. I'm about ready to rain some serious hell on you people if you don't clean up your act down there. This is probably the most extravagant computer stand or iPod stand I've seen. Just happens to be used for a Bible. Look at this beautiful, I think it's called a balustrade, but this fencing, if you will. This is a side chapel that is certainly consistent with the church and awesomely dramatic. Whoever paid for this one paid for a majestic work. I really do believe, in spite of everything they did, that God should release them from purgatory about now. Let's go up and look. Now using digital zoom, I'll go right up into this. One of the things that's always entranced me about shooting video or being in these huge cathedrals is the different views you have down through columns, up through column spaces, into vaulted spaces. Almost makes me wish I believed, because then I could imagine what the future might hold had I been a different person. Nicer, I mean. Here's a shot of that magnificent inlaid floor. I've seen this work before in other churches here. It still impresses me. Here are one of the notables of the apostles, I assume. Forget which one was the hermit. But that's what this would seem to symbolize. Imagine your life spent in that nature, in that way. I can only hope that these video pans somehow give you and I both a sense of the grandeur and the space. A two-person confessional, it appears to be at any rate, which certainly raises some magnificent artistic, literary options. The more time I spend in here, there's almost a crushing sense of art, of sculpture, as though in any minute it could all collapse around me. It's interesting how this chapel was blessed, excuse the pun, with natural sunlight. I wonder if this family paid a premium for this location because of that. A little bit of a focus on the motifs, the peacocks, the eagles. Did this reflect some Norman influence, some England king influence? Elsewhere it's suggested. Here a motif of two, I'm guessing they are women, but they're powerfully built if they are. Can't be sure. I'd have to think they were men. And it looks like two geese above them. I'll pan down this whole panel carefully so you can see the different elements of it. Birds, of course, different kinds, I think. There are a couple drinking from a water basin. Did the artist and the family who built this, I would imagine, spent considerable time discussing these elements, these designs, and wallowing in their self-glory? Here the bird motif is carried through in the intricate inlay of this banister. Notice the snake as part of this motif. And here the lion. Could this have been the family's crest? And here we see some sea critters. Tails almost entwined again. Wouldn't you think the family came here and prayed, believing it almost gave them a direct line connection to God? Here, almost at the front of the church, certainly appears to be a crest of some sort. And here's some more lions being restrained or controlled by angels. And here's one of those great machines. Now, as I look closely at this, it appears to be capable of rising 3 times the height you see there. Notice each has its little hand guards. Here's the mechanism for raising it, and presumably a catch to hold it in place. And if you want one, you can perhaps order it from there.